Psalm 10 deals with the cry of the righteous concerning the ways of the ungodly. This is not an uncommon cry from the mouth of the righteous. Psalm 10, verse 1 reads, "Why do you stand afar off, O Lord? Why do you hide in times of trouble?" It is very easy for the righteous to consider the ways of the wicked and wonder what is going on. So many times we feel like the righteous are the only ones who suffer, while the wicked continue to get their way while being disobedient. This thought process will be examined in the psalm. The initial words of the psalmist describes the situation that he feels. Notice the psalmist feels that the Lord is far from him. Further, the psalmist declares the Lord has hidden himself from him in the time of trouble. This is not the first time that we have this kind of language, nor will it be the last time where the righteous feel that they have been forsaken by God. Many times we as Christians are tempted to turn our ways to the ungodly because we think we see some benefits that we as righteous do not have. The psalmist describes the works of the ungodly. Some of these works we readily see as godless, yet some we may not see as such a big deal. Yet these works are condemned by God and require our careful examination to be sure that these characteristics are not there in our lives. Let's read Psalm 10, verses 2 to 4. The wicked in his pride persecutes the poor. Let them be caught in the plots which they have devised. For the wicked boasts of his heart's desire. He blesses the greedy and renounces the Lord. Verse 4. The wicked in his proud countenance does not seek God. God is none of his thoughts. Here we recognize arrogance to be the ungodly character. Pride is one of the more subtle sins that goes unrecognized by most Christians and is allowed to remain in a character. Pride can creep into a character and it can be very hard to detect unless we are very honest and open with ourselves. We often only equate arrogance with being snobby and stuck up. But there are more subtle ways that we are arrogant that we may not realize. How can we recognize this nature? Arrogance in its simplest form is being concerned with self rather than with others. When we think our way is the best way, we are arrogant. When we think that people ought to be more concerned about us, then we are full of pride. When we get hurt because people are doing things unlike we expect, then we have fallen into the error of self exaltation. We must see the subtle forms of pride. Arrogance is present any time we are thinking about ourselves or acting upon our own behalf. This is not an example of Christ. Matthew 20, verse 28 reads, "The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and give his life as a ransom for many." The psalmist also notes the thought process of the wicked. When there is arrogance in our lives, there is no room for God and we have exalted ourselves above him. We must remember God resists the proud and gives grace to the humble. So let us examine our lives and repent for our ways of arrogance and be blessed today.